To begin with, we have this concept of the people from other planets as little green men. Are they green from what you know? Are they all the same?
Unfortunately, they're not so benevolent.
A fucking alien.
What's good? Welcome Air 51 here with your host Jimmy. Another day in the jungle. Give us a like, subscribe, and also become part of our community here in goldenboxing.com for more news and stories. All right, so let's get to this video. And, I'm going to play this clip by The Godfather, one of the best movies ever made. If you've never seen The Godfather, you've never seen a movie. This is one of the best movies ever. So let's check this scene here. And I'm sure the ones who've seen the movie know what this scene is. So let's go ahead and play it.
There's a plane waiting for us to take us to Miami in an hour. We'll make a big thing about it. I know it was you, Fredo. You broke my heart. You broke my heart.
So, very good scene here. And if you've never watched The Godfather, Fredo betrayed Michael because he wanted to be like him. He felt like he wanted the glamour. He wanted to make money. He wanted the big parties like we see here. He was basically everything that a family shouldn't be when it comes down to the mafia. He wanted to be, big and glamorous and all this garbage, right? But Michael was more in the down low. He didn't want that sort of lifestyle. He just wanted to do his job and just be, just the Godfather. That's what he wanted to be. He just wanted to be the Godfather. But Fredo wanted, this commercial side. He wanted to explode and, be famous and X, Y, and Z. So you might wonder and say, why did I choose this clip? And what does this have to do with boxing? Well, I'm going to tell you what this has to do with boxing. There's a lot of boxing fans right now who are sold out to the sport of boxing. They're just completely sold out from the sport of boxing. I remember in the 90s, a lot of the boxing fans, we just didn't care if a boxer lost the fight. We just didn't care. What we cared about is just seeing the best fights possible. Then Floyd Mayweather Jr. came into the sport, and there was this shift where somewhere or another, a lot of the black fans started to, and just not black fans, but also Latino fans as well, they started to shift this ideology from a Bernard Hopkins, who was just literally fighting everybody, to this idea of being undefeated. I make more money. Oh, glamour, money. Oh, I'm the best ever. All these glamorous things, right? All these glamorous things that have nothing to do with the sport of boxing. Just nothing to do with the sport of boxing. And it was insane because Floyd avoided black fighters during his time. He did avoid black fighters. Keith Thurman was one of them. Paul Williams was one of them. He could have fought Paul Spadafora. He was putting rehydration clauses as well. Floyd did that too. And instead of criticizing Floyd, a lot of the Filipino fans came in and they also sold out as well because they said, oh, you know what? Floyd is a runner because of his style of boxing. That's not why you criticize Floyd. You criticize Floyd because he was avoiding fighters. You don't criticize Floyd because he was running. And then on top of that, they gave him a 50-0 fighting Conor McGregor. That's outrageous. Conor McGregor, man. So to me, when I criticize Floyd, because I'm an old school type of guy, I like old school boxers. It's not about undefeated. It's just about taking the risk and fighting. Okay, I'm a big fan I'm a huge fan of Bernard Hopkins. I like James Toney, Michael Nunn, and then from the 60s and down, I'm a huge aficionado of Sugar Ray Robinson's. I'm aficionado of Fred Apostoli's and all those boxers, Teddy Jarras, and all these different fighters that were on that decade. Those decades where they were actually really good, and we'll get to that in a second. But it was unbelievable, the shift of fans from the 90s and then what was in the 2000s. But then Canelo comes in and he avoids on he starts doing the same thing. He's fighting Shane Mosley. He's out of age, and people give him much credit. He starts taking all these weird fights. He lost against Mayweather because he miscalculated. And he then starts to copy Floyd Mayweather Jr. as well. And then suddenly, all the fans of Canelo Alvarez who were attacking Floyd suddenly now are Floyd fans. So they sold out. You see, they all became Fredos. They all sold out. Why? Because Canelo, he's Latino, so we got to defend him because, he's a Latino fighter. So, hey, Floyd did it. Floyd Mayweather Jr. did it. Why can't Canelo do it? He's the A side, right? B side. He deserves it. He can do whatever he wants. He's a god on earth. Like all this stupid shit to avoid fighters who wanted to take a fight with him. Avoid Undisputed. Doing all these different things. Rehydration clauses. So now the people who attack Floyd Mayweather Jr. now become co-participants. They become part of that same group of people who betrayed boxing, and now they're cheering for Canelo. Outrageous. And then you had these Gennady Golovkin fans saying, "Well, Andre Ward, he doesn't deserve it. He's not the ace." Like just unbelievable. Golovkin fans just saying the same thing also. Just avoiding fights. Just outrageous. Anthony Joshua, Naoya Inoue, Gervonta Davis avoiding black fighters. Okay, Gervonta Davis is avoiding black American fighters. No question about that. Jermall Charlo, I was criticizing Jermall Charlo before anybody was criticizing Jermall Charlo. And I was getting attacked for it. Oh, you're just a Demetrius Andrade guy. You're just like Demetrius Andrade. He's not making money. He don't deserve it. Dude, if you study this guy's career, you don't look for me. Just look at the old articles. A lot of fighters avoided Andrade. I mean, it's not that I just made this shit up. I don't give a fuck about Andrade. Like, I don't give a fuck. I'm a fan of boxing, you see? The principle of boxing is what I gotta follow, not the principle of what these boxers want me to follow, right? I've learned my lesson. Never to trust a boxer, but always to trust boxing and what boxing is telling me. But you had all these people selling out to just sell out. Oh, it's okay to avoid Andrade. Oh, he doesn't deserve it. It's John Ryder. It's better. Benavidez, he sucks. He sucks. Gennady Golovkin can fight Murata. It's okay. This is the shit Floyd was doing. You're doing the same thing. You are Fredo, bro. You sold out to the sport of boxing. And this affects everybody. Trust me, this affects absolutely everybody. You think that the young people coming up in boxing are not looking at that saying, I can also do whatever I want. If I see a fighter and he's dangerous, I'm going to avoid it. I'm going to avoid him because, I don't know, my city or my town is bigger than his town. And, we get more people, to watch our fight because we have a bigger town. And even though this guy is really good, we're just going to avoid him. Oh, I'm just going to avoid him because he's black. Oh, he's a dangerous fighter. Oh, I'm not going to fight him. Give me another fighter. Is there any British American fighters? Like, look what we're doing. And this sucks because if you wanted to shut the fuck up, if you wanted all the Floyd fans to shut up, you could have done it easily. You could have just done it easily by defending boxing first, okay, and looking at Canelo Alvarez and say, this guy is a fraud. I mean, rehydration clause, Glenburo, all these different things. This guy is a fraud, but you didn't do that. You sold out. If you would have done that, everybody would have laughed at Floyd Mayweather's career because his career was junk. He was a great boxer, but there was George Benton. Man, there were other great fighters before him. Why do you think the media doesn't show you boxers from the 60s going down? Why do they never show you those boxers? They were titans in that time. You never heard of Ike Williams? Pew Jack? Have you heard of any of these boxers? Fred Apostoli? Freddie Steele? Tony Zell? Charlie Bully, the Black Murderers Row? Holman Williams? Lloyd Marshall? Have you ever heard of these fighters before? I've read about many of these fighters. Teddy Jarrah? Have you seen what they did and they accomplished? Did you not know that in 1910s, 1920s, there were several boxers that sold out as well? Like Jack Dempsey, like Gene Toney. Even Jack Johnson didn't want to fight black fighters because of this glamour shit, this Fredo shit. Okay? There was many... Gene Toney and Jack Johnson, Jack Dempsey, sorry. He avoided Harry Wills and Sam Langford. They didn't want to fight those fighters. They were avoiding George Godfrey because they didn't want to lose. They want that glamour. See, when you fight these fighters and you fight everybody, you lose that glamour. You just become a boxer. But that's what's going to take you to the next level. If Canelo Alvarez wants to be the guy of legend, he needs to do the same as Juan Zurita did. He needs to do the same as Kirateca did. He needs to do the same as other great legends during his time did. Fight everybody. Rodolfo Casanova. He needs to fight everybody. And you're going to lose some, and that's okay. But these fighters weren't saying like, oh, you know what? That's a style I can't beat. He's a runner. So applying the Filipino, then what you're saying is, oh, he don't deserve it. You're gonna get the money. He's there. Okay, now you're being Fredo. See, you sold out. American fans sold out to the sport of boxing. It's sad because we run the sport. I mean, these are facts. We run the sport of boxing. We've got more champions than any other country in history. And those people say, well, they're Latino. Yeah, I mean, if you're talking Mexican American, there was like 50 champions in total. And many of them were mixed. So they weren't really Mexican. But the champions, we grow them here in America, in the United States. We have the best of the best. We don't have to follow any other boxing style. We got it here. So why are we acting this way? That's outrageous. That's outrageous. Well, Floyd Mayweather Jr. did it. So just because I rob, just because somebody robs, that means I can rob too? Or accuse somebody of robbing? You shouldn't do that. But then they catch me robbing. Well, he did it. Does that excuse me from what I'm doing? Robbing a store? You robbing boxing too. See, you robbing boxing too. And you're not saying shit. Because there's an agenda. And I know this for a fact. There's an agenda where we're trying to, attack different ethnic groups. Listen, man. We got to stop with this bullshit, okay? Black fighters, black American fighters, they are the best. That's great. Shit, we got the best. What do you want? You got something against black fighters? I mean, what's up with them, man? Like, I don't understand. I mean, I got Native American in me. They got Native American too. Why would I not support them? Why would I not support it? Bernard Hopkins, Roy Jones, they all got Native American. I got Native American. Why not support them? But you want to support other fighters who come from different countries. See, you Fredo like that as well. I remember Andre Ward versus Sergey Kovalev. Andre Ward went up to fight Sergey Kovalev. But everybody wanted Sergey Kovalev to win. That's like if Max Schmeling was fighting Joe Louis and all the Americans were rooting for Max Schmeling and not Joe Louis. Are you lost your fucking mind? What's wrong with you? These people represent us. They got our blood too. You selling out, man. You selling out. You gotta call these boxers who are not taking risk out, man. You gotta do that, because in the end of the day, it's going to affect everything. You know, it's just gonna become a huge mess. I got boxing fans acting like prostitutes, saying the A side, no, he has a bigger purse. He's the bigger purse guy. He deserves it. He deserves it. He calls the shots. Fucking, who, you dating a pimp? What the fuck? Doesn't make sense, man. Dating a pimp? He calls the shots. Big Daddy's here. He runs the show. No, the belts don't matter. Then suddenly, you know, and then this is funny because Floyd Mayweather Jr. in an interview, I remember with Fight Hype a long time ago, they're showing all the straps. And it's funny, he said the belts don't matter, but it did matter in the end. Because when they asked him, well, did you ever become undisputed? I was like, well, you know, according to the WBC rules, you know, if you have more than 3 belts, you know, you're undisputed. So now he's not only just lying, so he not only regrets not being undisputed, now he's lying about it. He was never undisputed. He never cleaned his fucking division. He never did that. I don't care how good you are. Okay? It doesn't matter how good you think Canelo is. They can lose. Like Mike Tyson lost against Buster Douglas. They can lose. These things happen in boxing. And very often. But these fighters need to be fighting American fighters. They need to be fighting American undefeated fighters and stop jumping around, choosing who they want to fight, because they already know who is the kings of boxing. They all know who the kings of boxing are. It's us. If you don't go through us, you can't be the best. That's just point blank period. And you fucking sold out to the sport, because at the end of the day, you are following a criteria that is not even reasonable in any other sport, just in boxing. If you want to know what boxing records should look like, just look at UFC, mixed martial arts. That's exactly what old school boxing should be. All these fighters in UFC, they got plenty of losses. But at the end of the day, it's the fighters that you won, and you got to calibrate it with the fighters you lost again. Give me a Jojo Diaz over a fighter like Gervonta Davis. He fought everybody. No rehydration classes, just straight into the fight. Right? Just straight into the fight. Give me a Bernard Hopkins any day over a Gennady Golovkin, that pussy Canelo Alvarez. Give me that any day of the day. Any day. Give me a Deontay Wilder over a Anthony Joshua. Any day. Any day. I take him. I get a Gabriel Rosado over a Gennady Golovkin. I take fighters who take risk. No questions. No questions. Give me a Stefan Fulton who's been fighting undefeated fighters, everybody in their prime, over Naoya Ioane, who's technically been ducking 115. He never unified in any of those divisions. He went to the weakest division. You got stupid Paulie Malignaggi saying that, you know, Devin Haney got the weakest undisputed. Are you out of your fucking mind, Paulie? Are you stupid? Man, Paulie's an idiot. Paulie is an idiot. Paulie is an idiot. He has a racial agenda. I don't know why. Maybe he got raped by some black people or something. I don't know. So maybe some black guy fucked his girl or something. I don't know. Maybe it's not that big. You know, I wouldn't have that problem. But what happened? I mean, it doesn't make any sense. You're gonna blame Devin Haney having the weakest undisputed? He's being ducked by Ryan Garcia. He's being ducked by Gervonta Davis, who could have activated as a mandatory. He's being ducked. Now it seems like Shakur Stevenson is kind of changing his mind right now with Devin Haney, which should kind of raise your, you know, eyebrows. Teofimo Lopez ducked him. And he fights George Kambosos, becomes undisputed at a much younger age than Naoya Ioane. But Naoya Ioane goes to 118, which is one of the weakest divisions. He only fought Nonito Donaire. He's out of his prime. And the other fucking Butler or whatever his name was, you know, and that's a weaker division. old people. At least Devin Haney fought some prime fighters. Come on, man. Come on, man. You guys sold out. There's a lot of Fredos. There's a lot of Fredos in the sport, and I'm sick and tired. Anytime I see people talking about A side, B side, and all this garbage, you're a Fredo. You a fucking Fredo. You don't give a shit about the sport. You have a different agenda, but you betray the sport, man. And that's what's happened with the sport of boxing. Anyway, that's just my opinion. You don't have to cry about it. You don't have to leave a comment either, but that's just my opinion. So peace out, give us a like, and also subscribe to goldenarboxing.com for more news and stories. Peace out in the next one. Deuces.